Hi there and welcome to my channel. It's Sunday the 7th of January. My name's Narelle Clausen, founder of Love Light Magic, and this is my Polarity deck. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cast the 2024 annual forecast using this custom made deck. So what I like to do at the start of every year is to do a calendar wheel spread using this deck to work out what the monthly collective themes will be for us as a collective entity. So I created this deck back in 2016 during quite a difficult and transformative time in my life. And this was kind of like a bit of an inspiration that helped me move through and get through some challenging periods in my life. And since then, since I've been using it and casting this spread annually for the collective as well as for myself, I've found that the insights that this personal deck brings can be really valuable as individuals navigating this three-dimensional realm. So if you'd like to learn more about the backstory of this deck, you can go to my website and I'll put the link in this video, and you can read up about it and how I went about creating it and what it entails and the different themes that are involved with this deck. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the annual collective forecast for 2024. And basically this calendar spread will provide insights into the monthly collective themes. And this is going to indicate what our soul evolutionary processes are for each month of the 2024 annual cycle. And basically what that means is, how can we as a collective entity up-level our life through mastering the polarities that exist in this universe, in this world of dualities. So let's begin. So let's tune in to the collective energetics for 2024. And what do we as a collective entity need to up-level on planet Earth? How can we do things better? How can we evolve? How can we become more honed in our experience as humans having a spiritual existence on the earth plane? So this spread will really give us insights into what we can shapeshift month to month in order to, I guess, elevate our frequencies and carry out life in a more empowered way on the planet. So let's cut the deck. So these two cards are going to symbolize the underbelly theme for the 2024 cycle. And as a collective, which, you know, let me just explain the collective in the sense of how I'm channeling this reading so that you understand your unique blueprint in relation to this spread. So, you know, we are all this divine spark. We are all a part of the creator of all that is as a physical embodiment. And it is up to us as individuals to apply ourselves to be the highest and best vibration that we can be on the planet. We can't affect change outwardly until we do the inside job. So this reading is about how can I consciously up-level my life, which is then going to have a domino effect in a positive way on the collective reality. How can I feed into that collective reality through assuming my highest and best mode of operating, being and doing life on planet Earth here? So from that perspective, we've got these two underbelly cards here. And we've got the spiritual on the left-hand split, and we've got gratitude on the right-hand split. So when you look into the backstory of this deck, there's all symbology that ties into each of these cards. And the spiritual card is tied in with the crown chakra concept, and the gratitude card is tied in with the root chakra. So this is pretty clear cut to me. What it's saying is we need to ground our spirituality. We need to bring our higher self into grounded practice on the earth plane. And the polarity of that is we need to stop struggling, and we need to stop focusing on the material, okay? And that's where our struggles are. When we focus too much on the material and we don't do it in balance with the spiritual, then, you know, too much focus on the material can make us have struggles. And, you know, it's all how this world is designed. It's designed to be, you know, the accumulation of things and possessions, and it's designed that way. And we need to change that as a collective. We need to actually start showing gratitude for what we have, and we need to start bringing the spiritual into everything that we do, okay? And when we channel the spiritual, then we are channeling our own highest source of wisdom, which is going to recourse us down our best path ahead. And that's when we can start to see gratitude and have gratitude for the things, the benevolence of the universe that starts to filter in, because we're trusting that spiritual insight. But if we're too much in the material and too much focus in the material, we have a disconnect with the spiritual. And this is what we're seeing playing out in the planet, because we've got a very left brain dominant planet and our right brain has been suppressed. And now we're learning how to switch that back on. And, you know, the whole idea of the duality of nature and working with polarities is to find the most honed, masterful position of the two, because we're always swinging in and out of these polarities, but it doesn't mean that we go and tip or err on one side or the other. We have to realize that both help us create balanced equilibrium. And our job is to find that central place, that place of neutrality within these polarities that exist. So life is insisting in 2024 that we adopt more spiritual practices in relation with the material reality that we exist in the here and now, in the 3D. And we need to start counting our blessings. We need to start showing our gratitude and not seeing life as a big struggle. Okay, we're fed in the collective so much fear. And so if we start getting consumed by all this fear that is shown to us, we are going to struggle with that. It is going to be hard to find things to be grateful for. So you have to be careful what you're consuming, because it could be taking you into the overbalance. Start counting your blessings. Start using the wisdom of the turtle totem medicine, which is connected to Mother Earth, and bring the spiritual element into a grounded embodiment of that. So as a collective, this is what we're learning. We're learning to not be so materially focused. We're learning how to switch on the spiritual, let the crown chakra open and activate and ground it into the physical body. It's bringing spirit embodied. That is what this year is about. And this is how we can up level as a species, as a human race, and let go of the shit show that we've been seeing over the last few years, which is part of our evolutionary process. It has been to up level the human collective. So that's beautiful. So these two cards really give us an indication of the overall theme that is going to dominate the year ahead. And I want you to really be mindful of that overarching theme as we get out this calendar wheel. Okay, so we have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Here we go. So what I would like to point out initially is the commonalities in this spread, okay, so that you can get an idea of what we're working through. So we start January with prayer, and we followed by boundaries in February, self-love in March, relinquish in April, wisdom in May, the communicator in June, give in July, manifestation in August, the Shekinah in September, Jaguar in October, discernment in November, and nature as our December card. So that is our calendar wheel as a collective consciousness. This is how we can up-level the year. And now what I want to show you and what I want to point out within this polarity deck is that each card has a symbol associated with it. So with prayer, we start in January with a heart chakra concept, which is the half moon. So in this spread, we have two half moons. Okay, then we have a sacral chakra concept here with the boundaries card. And we have another one here with give. So we have two sacral chakra concepts. Then this lightning bolt, this is about wounds and healing. This is things that we need to evolve and up level. There's only one wounds and healing card in this spread. This is something as a collective we need to learn to work through. Okay, this is deeper healing and the deeper dives. And so May, we've got the third eye. We've got another third eye here and here in November, sorry. June, funny enough, we've drawn the communicator. This is a throat chakra concept and the only one in this spread. We've got a root chakra, a manifestation, and the love heart, that represents deities that oversee us and help us on our life's path and journey. There's one of those. And in December, the final concept there is people and places. So this is what we need to embody as a collective. All right, so let's begin. So January, we have prayer. So this is, again, a heart chakra concept. So what we're being guided to do as an individual contributing to this collective reality is to focus on prayer, okay? So this comes as a result of perhaps having an unhealthy attachment to outcomes, okay? And, you know, this unhealthy attachment could be tied into the collective noise of what we've been fed. We could be buying into ideas and really attached to those ideas of what we're fed through the media and other channels. And we have to be really careful that we're not over-identifying with themes that are playing out in the collective that are not really truly connected to us as individuals on the earth plane. And what we can do instead is we can find healthy detachment. And it's not, you know, and we can send prayers. We can send prayers to the situations that need prayers. And if we do feel a heart-centered consciousness to want to contribute in some way, to offer some sort of humanitarian act or deed or donate some funds or resources, then by all means go and do that. Go and contribute to these themes in life where you feel called to help. But if some of the life situations that are happening in the world are really triggering you and making you feel disheartened in the world and not seeing a bright future, drop it into your heart space and start praying for the future that you want. And don't be attached to that being a continued reality. Start focusing your reality on the reality that you would like to see embodied on the earth plane, and put your energy and focus there. All right? So January, it's insisting we as individuals start to drop into our heart more around the issues that are playing out on planet Earth. And from that heart-centered consciousness, we can then ask ourselves, how can I serve? How can I serve? And it may be as simple as sending out love and prayer for healing to those parts of the world that are disjointed and in disarray. Okay? And we need not forget that when things are playing out like that in the collective, they're playing out the shadows. It is the shadow work dissolving. And that's never easy. It's never easy. And it's uncomfortable. And we're never going to get to the other side unless we move through that density. Okay, so there is a plan and a purpose to it all, and you've got to trust that there is this divine creator that oversees everything. But how can you contribute? By offering prayers to the situation to help dissolve the tensions that are in the air at the moment. And then just come back to doing you. Come back to doing you. Come back to doing life grounded in the heart space and see where that leads and guides you. So February is all about setting boundaries. We're learning how to set boundaries, okay, as a collective. Okay, as individuals within this collective, perhaps we've left ourselves wide open. We're not conscious, okay? And we have to learn to say no. We have to learn to set healthy boundaries that support us being our highest and best in our individual expression on the planet. So where in your life are you being guided to say no? And boundaries can be a difficult one to master. But it is a matter of saying, when things come your way and you're unsure, don't be that yes person. It's okay to say, thank you for asking, may I have a think about that before I respond? Don't feel like you have to give an answer. Or if you've got an imbalance in your life where, you're giving more than you're able to give back to yourself, then you have to use that discernment to see where you're in an overemphasis of leaving yourself so open that you've lost touch with yourself and lost touch with your ability to meet your own needs, okay? And this is where you may need to say, no, stop, reset. I need to work out what my boundaries are, and I need to work out the give and take here. Okay, so this is February. As a collective, we're learning our boundaries, what we will and won't tolerate. And this could be what we will and won't tolerate as a collective energy as well. What's playing out in the field of the collective? What are we not going to continue to tolerate that's intolerable in this world as a collective society? What are we going to say no to? And if you're passionate about something, you have to follow it through with action. You have to give voice to that through the actions that you take to make a difference. So February is all about boundaries. Then we step into self-love in March. Okay? Now, this is a collective storyline for everyone. Everyone's got to learn how to love themselves more. Everyone's got to learn how to come into the heart center and get out of this place of self-loathing and judgment and feeling like they're imperfect in the world. Come back to that image of that beautiful newborn baby that was this divine spark that just came in all pure and innocent, completely loving vibration. And return to that inner child. Return to that inner child that may need you to recognize that you need to drop into the heart and welcome that inner child back in. and feed it the love and the care and the nurturance that that little child needs, that little you needs, that is crying out for. And drop the judgments of self. Not seeing ourselves as needing to be anything other than what we actually are. Okay? Not buying into this collective reality that we need to change who we are to fit in. Okay? Self-love is an inside job. It is always about fully and unconditionally loving self exactly how you are. Seeing yourself through the eyes of perfection as the Creator designed you. And so in March, we are all getting an opportunity to come back into our hearts and learn to love ourselves more. And when we heal a broken heart, we become more heart-centered, conscious individuals on this earth plane. And that's when we can really start to spread goodwill, joy, love, compassion, and understanding for everyone else. And that becomes like a spark of divinity that it spreads like wildfire, and it activates and awakens everybody else's source of love and light within them. Beautiful, beautiful. So April, this is the wounds and healing concept that I was talking about. We have to learn to relinquish. We have to learn to let go of things, especially when we've been betrayed. You know, and this can be self-betrayal. Where in your life are you trying to control things? Let it go. Trust in the benevolence of the universe to support you. This is where the healing is. Life will always deliver you better than what you can create for yourself if you only just get out of your way. So in April, what do you have to relinquish in your life? What is causing so much control in your life that you feel that you just can't let go, that you're not coping? And let it go. Find a way to relinquish and hand it over to a divine power. And trust that in you handing it over to divine intervention to assist, you will find balanced equilibrium of this polarity. But have a look. Where is betrayal playing out in your life and control? Really sit with that. And this is going to be pertinent for the month of April. So when April comes along, this is when you want to revisit this and see what in your life is wanting for you to let go of it in order to create a clear slate for something new to come in to fruition. So May is all about wisdom. We're starting to access our third eye, our wisdom, and getting out of that irrational mind, okay? Coming into the masterful place of intuition, which speaks to us as our highest wisdom and source light. And this is a third eye chakra, so the wisdom may come through as insights, as intuitions, as through our clairvoyant channels. Okay, so May is saying that as a collective, we're getting wiser, we're up-leveling, more of us are tapping into that third eye. Because once we work through these messages here, we've cleared the slate, we've cleared the density for our wisdom to start shining through. And the irrational mind starts to come into balance again, rather than it being an overbalance, is what it has been for many decades. Okay? So as an individual within this collective, channel your wisdom. Work with the third eye. Learn how to hone it. Learn how to trust the instincts and the wisdom in relation with the rational mind. We need both. We need both. And the right brain has been dormant and it's time to switch it on. June, the communicator. This is a throat chakra concept. And this is all about having the courage to speak your truth. Now we've just had all this insight and wisdom in May. Now it's time to deliver that. Learning how to get good at speaking our truth is how we set good boundaries for ourselves. So this is about not being silent anymore. This is not being afraid to say what we really feel. This is about having honest conversations. And, mature individuals should feel safe to speak from the heart. And if anyone takes that truth the wrong way, then that indicates that they've got work to do. But the important thing is that you speak your truth and you honor your own source, your own unique perspective here. And be brave and speak out and communicate. Communicate what needs to be communicated. Don't hold back because of fear of hurting someone's feelings or because you feel afraid. Channel it from the heart. We're learning heart-centered consciousness this year. And when it's heart-centered, it'll come out the right way. It'll come from the heart's truth. And if anyone takes offense to your heart's truth, it means that they have work to do, as long as you deliver it in a respectful way. July. Sacral chakra concept. Give and receive in balance. Okay? How can we learn to give and receive in balance? So you might be an overgiver. And normally overgivers find it really difficult to receive in return. So they give and they give and they give. And when benevolence is offered to them, they don't know how to accept, don't feel worthy of it. So as a collective, we're learning how to give and receive in equal measure. It's not all about taking. It's about sharing the goodwill, sharing it around, random acts of kindness. How can we give from the heart? And how can we learn to receive? This is about us connecting as communities within our towns, within our states, within our countries. It's getting grassroots about this. How can we work at that foundational level? Because then that's changing the collective of the reality within little communities, and then you can expand from there. So start at home. Where can you give and receive in your own back door? Sit with that one. Because as everyone just focused in their own backyard, then little pockets of light sparks would start to open in towns across the planet. And then this consciousness will start to spread to neighboring towns and neighboring towns. We have to learn to give, but we also have to learn to receive. And that's what's up for July. August, manifestation. This is grounding manifestations into a grounded reality. So maybe as a collective, we're starting to see the manifestation of our prayers and our loving expression starting to materialize on the planet. Okay? We've had this invalidation going on for so long. We've been working through the shadows, the collective dark night of the soul. But, that's not forever. Eventually, things will start to materialize. What do we want to see manifested on this planet? This is going to tie back into prayer. What are we praying for? Where is our wisdom guiding us? How can we give back to the planet? And then it's going to start materializing. Okay? And the energy is growing. The momentum is building. And there's still a lot of really unconscious people on the planet, but there's a lot of people waking up too. And for the ones that are doing the work and raising their vibration and working through their densities, are going to see the manifestation of their desires, of their prayers. Absolutely beautiful. And then we come into September, which is the Shekinah, which is Mother Earth again. Another Earth, Mother Earth concept. So it's having a better vision for Earth. And it's letting that vision come from that inner light, from that source self, from that wisdom body. Okay? Rather than us continuing as a visionless society with not being conscious of our reality, of over-consuming, of not really seeing how we have an effect on this planet, what our individual actions do and cause, and not really seeing past our own noses. This is how we've been operating as a human collective. But now we have to start seeing us as an individual spark that is interconnected and interjoined with all that is. This is stepping out of me consciousness into we consciousness and seeing a vision for everyone and honoring that. Again, it's not about just talking the talk, it's about walking the walk. It's about bringing the honor into everything that you do and let that light shine in. Let the vision come through from your inner light and honor it through actions. Okay, and this is another third eye. So the third eye is awakening, granting us information on how as individuals we can give back to the planet. What can we do? What's that little act of give and receive that we can do? The act of benevolence that we can feed into the planet to support the collective up-leveling, to bring more love and light back into the planet. October is Jaguar Totem Medicine. It's about being in integrity and being impeccable with your word. No more finger pointing. No more living in dishonor and not owning your shit. This is about a wise one owns their shit and they walk with integrity and impeccability on the planet. You know, and this is what we need to do. We need to walk this path with clear karma, spreading goodwill, acting from our highest truth and integrity, and being impeccable in everything that we do. And if we stuff up, we have the wisdom to know that we need to take responsibility for that. We stop pointing and blaming and shaming other people for our own self-created delusions. Okay? This is the masterful application of Jaguar Totem Medicine. It is about taking responsibility. And that is what is up for each individual in the collective in October. And then we come into November, we have discernment. Discernment. So this is our third eye chakra concept. Our discernment helps unravel misunderstandings, okay? If we'd only just trust our intuition and our insights and not jump to conclusions. So how do you need to bring discernment into your life in November? How do you have to trust your instincts more than the misunderstandings that are playing out in your life? Getting your wires crossed. Misunderstandings come from poor communication too, by the way. From jumping to conclusions, to assuming, all these human behaviors that we can fall victim to. So November is insisting that a little discernment needs to be filtered into a situation where a misunderstanding may be relevant in November, as an individual or as a collective reality. And this could also mean that we're going to start to be more discerning of the misunderstandings that are playing out in the collective. The things that we're unconsciously tripping ourselves up, we're going to start to see through it and realize that we're our own cosmic jokers in this game of life. Okay, so discernment, beautiful. And lucky last, December, returning to nature. And this is a people, places, body concept. Nature and environmental needs. Now, these have been, environmental needs. We've been talking about this since the 60s, and we've just been in this constant phase of destruction, and, arguably we're still there. But finally, the message is coming home that we need to return to nature. Okay, we need to support the environment, because if we don't take care of our home, we'll be homeless. We all know this. So, how do you need to return to nature? How do you not need to recalibrate your connection to nature, to get grounded in nature, to have the spiritual body that is you grounded in nature in this physical 3D reality, so that you can carry out actions that support the needs of nature and make choices in alignment with nature. So I think that's all that really wants to come through around that, is a return to nature. As a collective, we all need to return to nature. And it can be very difficult if you live in the cityscape, so you need to be able to step out of that reality. You need to be becoming one with nature. You need to be finding minutes every day, whatever that is. And if you live in the city, then bring green life into your home. Bring lots of plants around and start connecting with those plants and connecting with the living systems and the growth. Start to really pay attention to nature, to the animals, the plants, the things in your environment. And more importantly, what action can you do to heal this natural world that we live in and return to nature in balance with this technological age that is going ahead in leaps and bounds? It's even more important to always have your feet firmly anchored on the ground. So that seems like we're going to have quite an optimistic up-leveling of a year if we do the work. 2024 in numerology is an 8-year. So it is a year of materialization. It's manifestation in balance with the spiritual material aspects. And it is a progressive year. It's a year of outward action. It's a year of whatever was gleaned in the 7-year, it's putting that into practice. It's putting those seeds and planting them and allowing them to grow and seed this year. So I hope you've enjoyed that reading. And if you would like an individual polarity deck reading, then I am currently offering that to email subscribers at 50% off for the month of January to the end of January. So what you would need to do to access that would be to sign up to my newsletter, which I'll leave the links in the comments. And from there, you can request to have your own 2024 annual blueprint cast for you for the year ahead, and go a bit deeper with this and see where life is asking you to up-level your experience. So thank you for being here. Happy Sunday, and I wish you a beautiful month ahead.